Hello everyone, thanks for joining me here today. This is a hands and knees flow. So the whole thing will be doing on our hands and knees. Shoulders are stacked right over the wrists and hips right over the knees. We'll begin by holding our core in nice and tight, finding a flat back, and then allowing ourselves to breathe deeply. So as you take an inhale, allow your belly to relax. As you exhale, press the air out, pull your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, release. And exhale, press the air out. Release. And press the air out. So breathe at your own pace here. Keep your gaze straight down towards your mat. Nice neutral spine. Really settling into our foundation. Inhale, exhale. We'll begin to find some movement in our shoulders. So as you inhale, allow your chest to drop down, your shoulders to pull together behind your back. As you exhale, press through the hands. The shoulders will rotate around the front of your rib cage. As you press up, you're protracting the shoulders. And as you inhale, you lower, you're retracting the shoulders. So press the floor away and allow your chest to sink. All of this movement is happening in the shoulders. It's not a push-up. It's working on some body control here. Speed it up. Lower and lift. Lower. Lift. Take 3, 2, and 1. Now keeping the shoulders flat against the back nice and flat here, straight line in the spine. Lowering, bending through the elbows, tapping the forehead and lifting up. So lowering down, shoulders stay over the palms and lift up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Take a couple more of these on your own time. And go ahead and hold at the top, shake out a little left and right, pressing into one hip and the other. I'm beginning to draw a little half circle with your hips. Eventually taking it into a full circle, going to the left. And begin to move your body into it a little more. As we move more throughout this video, I encourage you to put your own spin on the movements. Everyone's body, everyone's spine moves a little bit differently, so totally make it your own and do what feels good to you. So really get into the movement here, drawing a big circle and building some heat in your body. Take a few more rotations going this way. And go ahead and pause and switch directions, starting out keeping your spine nice and flat. Taking rotations left and right. I'm going to draw that little half circle and bring it into a full circle going to the right. And with every rotation, getting your body a little more into the movement, rounding and arching through the back, just moving, flowing out, feeling good here. A couple more, making sure you're breathing and slowly finding your way back to a neutral, aligning your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips right over your knees. Take your hands wide of your mat and begin to dip into one shoulder and the other, making your way all the way down so your chest feels like it's in a very wide push-up position. Continue wiggling out left and right, taking a big stretch across the shoulders. And hold it still, dip down and round up. So dip down like a push-up here, hips stay over the knees still, and round up. Dip down and round up, dip down and up. Take a couple more. Breathe in as you lower and press the air out as you rise. Always pulling your belly button in, core nice and engaged. Everything's tight here. And hold at the bottom. Stretch on over, lean to your right side and to your left. So you're stretching across the front of your shoulder and your chest to the right and your left. Find your way to center, wiggle it out a little if it feels good, and round all the way up to all fours. Inhale the gaze high. And exhale, round. Flow through a traditional cat-cow here. Gaze goes high. And round up. Press the air out. Inhale. And exhale. Continue to flow. One more time. Walk your hands out a couple inches in front of you and begin to press your hips actively back and up. So as if you were coming into a child's pose. Lean a little to your right and a little to your left. To your right and to your left. Roll all the way through center and press the hips back. So moving forward and back, keep that round in your back till your shoulders come over your wrists and press your hips back. And as you move through this, you can choose to walk your hands out a little more forward to make it more challenging and deepen the movement. Forward and back and forward and back. So we'll begin to draw a big circle with our hips. So press it over to the right, through center, to the left and back. Staying strong through the shoulders and back, drawing a big circle counterclockwise. Hold at the back and switch directions, moving in a clockwise direction. Take a couple more going this way. and eventually come to hold at the top of the motion. Shake it out a little left and right. And keep that wiggle as you send your hips back and forward. Back and forward, keeping that left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, back and forward. And we'll make our way onto all fours. Press your rib cage a little to your left so the weight comes into your left hand. You're pressing with your right. And switch to your right side. To the left. And the right. Speed it up a little. Left, right, left, right. Keeping the back flat. All this movement is in the lateral plane. So we're going to begin to make a bit of a snake with our body in that same lateral plane. The hips go to the right and the wave travels up the side of our body. So to the left, to the right. Hips go left, right. Drawing a bit of a figure eight with the hips. Left, right. So feel free to watch first and try on your own. But if you're looking at just the left side of the body, it goes hips, the side of your body, the side of your rib cage, and then the left shoulder. And allow that wave to travel through you. This takes some practice, definitely a lot of isolation work. So don't be discouraged if you don't get it the first time. It just feels completely weird. Not a big deal. So go ahead and find your way back to all fours. Take your hands wide and we'll take those big shoulder rolls that we love. So dipping down so the shoulders come in line with the elbows and the wrists, and then pressing right back up. Using the weight of your body to get deeper between your shoulder blades. And go ahead and switch directions, dipping down and pressing back at the bottom of the motion. Three, two, and last one. We'll return to center here. Aligning shoulders right back over wrists. Take a deep breath in as you dip your chest towards the ground and press it out as you round up. So when you dip, bend into both elbows. Maybe you even tap your elbows down to the mat. So inhale, tap, and exhale, press, round. Tap, press, round. Tap down, press up and round. You can play around with this. Continue to walk your hands out a little more forward in front of you to get deeper into your upper back. So press, round, tap the elbows, press up and round. So this is great to work towards a deeper puppy pose, and we'll be settling into puppy pose shortly. So take a few more here. Maybe you walk your hands a little further. Tapping the chest and lifting up, rounding. Eventually settling down into your puppy pose. So in puppy, hips stay right over the knees. The forehead comes down to the mat, much like child's pose. Or if you're a little more open, you can take your chin down or press your chest towards the mat. Take some deep breaths here, slow everything down. One more full breath as you roll yourself up to all fours. And take 3 big rolls in your shoulders. Go ahead and plant your right hand and reach your left up high towards the ceiling. Weave the left through and extend the right arm above your head. You should be resting on the outside of your left shoulder. There's also an option to reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, take some rotations, or allow it behind your back for a half bind. And release your right hand up and press down beneath your shoulder to return to center. Take a couple shoulder rolls and we'll do the same on the other side. So left hand stays planted, right arm reaches up. And weave it all the way through so you're resting on the outside of your right shoulder. The left arm will reach up above you. You can take your left hand up towards the ceiling, rotations, or drop it behind your back for a half bind. Release that hand back up to the ceiling and press yourself up to all fours once again. So walk the hands out a little further. It's enough so we can drop the hips down, the belly and the chest, and press right back up. So leaning forward, roll out all the way onto your belly, dip down, keep the shoulders down and back, and press right back up. Dip all the way down and back up. Take a couple more times. It's really pressing through each vertebra of the spine. And last one, go ahead and return to all fours, pressing the hips up and back. Take some little pulses towards your child's pose. Lean forward, pulse back, and lean forward. So keep a nice arch through the back as you lean forward and press back, trying to send your hips up towards the ceiling. Engage the core to protect the back. And do the same thing rounded. So take those little pulses as you keep your back rounded. And stay rounded as you hinge forward and back. Forward, back. Forward, back. Take a couple more of these. And go ahead and return to all fours. Wiggle it out a little left and right. Take those shoulder rolls. 3, 2, 1. And return to center. Press the rib cage to the left, up to the ceiling, to the right, and to the floor. Drawing a big circle. Go ahead and smooth it out. So we go around to the left, pause, and around to the right. So around one way, pause at the bottom, and around to the other. Around one way, and around to the other. Every time you get to the bottom, you switch directions. Really working on protracting those shoulder blades at the top. And go ahead and take it around one way the whole time. So don't switch directions when you're at the bottom. Now go ahead and pause and switch directions. Take those circles the other way. And go ahead and pause, hold, center, and send your right leg back. Press into your heel for a big calf stretch. Release through that knee as well. If you like to lower onto your elbows, that's an option. As you lean forward, pick up that leg and cross it behind the other one. Turn your gaze towards the foot you crossed behind. And return to center. Switch to the other side. Left foot comes back. Press into the heel. Option to lower towards the elbows. Lean forward, lift that leg up and cross it behind for a big side bend, stretching the hip. Go ahead, return to center. Take your knees wide with big toes to touch. Sink back towards your heels. For child's pose, walk your hands a little towards your left. And towards your right. Go ahead and find center. Sink down as low as you can here. Allow your forehead to come to the mat. Maybe you take hands, fingertips together, and allow your forehead to rest on the backs of your hands. We'll take a final shoulder stretch here. So weave your right arm under to the left and your left arm under to the right, and allow your chin to rest on the top of your left shoulder. Now your hands don't have to be completely parallel or opposite one another here. Just the more opposite they are, the more intense of a stretch it'll be. So go ahead and lift up and switch which arm is on top or in front. Lift up a little, take the right arm that's on top, reach it in front of you and allow your left ear to go down so your gaze turns to your right. Pick up and switch sides, left arm goes out, right arm weaves under. Take the right ear down and the gaze to the left. Gently pull both hands back to center and find your child's pose. Take some deep breaths here, allowing your hips to sink a little closer towards your heels. And that is all for this hands and knees flow. If you enjoyed the flow, definitely let me know. Hopefully your spine is feeling awesome and ready to tackle the rest of your practice or the rest of your day. Let me know how these flows are feeling on your body. I greatly enjoy the feedback. Namaste.